physical therapist. And Brad, what are you reading here?
I'm Brad Heineck. I'm a physical therapist as well. Bob, I was just reading this. I like this book a lot. It's a dictionary. I sit down and read it every now and then. It's one of my favorite books from school. I probably spent more time in this book in school than any other. Seriously, but anyways.
You're such an intelligent man.
Yeah. I know, but look, I was looking at this headache. Pain in the head from any cause. Of course, you and I both know that that's probably not the case. And one of my favorite things with headaches when I have patients come in is to do a simple stretch. You can do it in 30 seconds, and usually about 50% of the time there's some success, if not real good success, with the reducing or abolishing the headache. So why don't we go through that right now, Bob?
Sounds good.
Why don't you pretend you're the
Follow
patient.
us.
Okay, have a seat. Okay. So getting into the serious aspect here, oftentimes people complain of headaches, and they'll complain about the headaches in the forehead, around the eyes, and they'll say that they're radiating this way or backwards, from the forehead backwards. And if that's the case, it's oftentimes a source back in this part of the head or the upper neck. Okay, and Bob, were you saying before an explanation of what's going on with that occipital nerve?
Well, there's a number of things. One is the greater occipital nerve comes out in the area right there where the head meets the neck. And that does innervate up into this area here, so that can send pain up into the forehead and even into the ear. People talk about some pain that they may get there. So that's quite often what may be the cause. But there's also the first cervical vertebrae can give you trouble at that level.
Right.
So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on right there where the neck meets the head.
And one thing I notice that people have these headaches, I talk to them about their history and what they do, and oftentimes there are people who work at a computer or they have a head forward posture, and we talk about this in our other videos as well. And this is the way I explain it without getting into details. What are you doing there?
I was typing.
Oh, kind of
Typing on a computer.
Okay, so he's typing, and if you look right in here, I just talked to people about this. Look how the tissues are getting compressed and actually get shortened and get tightened. Okay, and that can put pressure on tissues like that occipital nerve Bob was talking about, and cause the pain to refer or radiate up to the forehead and into even by the eyes. Okay, so what I do simply is get the people up in good posture. And a lot of times people say, whoa, what is that? And I say, that's good posture, and you're never in it, and that's why you don't know about it. But now you're going to remember it. And look what happens, where the neck was back like this as it was forward. There we go. Now we get it up. Now we do the chin tuck in, and the tissues here start to stretch. Okay? Now what I want you to do, Bob, is take your chin and tuck it in towards your throat and your forehead like this, so we get even more of a stretch here. Okay? And then relax. Okay, now one thing that oftentimes people do when I ask them to do this stretch, they simply bring their chin down towards their chest, and that's not right. It may help, but to do it right, it's in and back. And what I'll do as a therapist, I'll give them a little over pressure like this. Do you feel that, Bob?
Yeah, feels good.
Feel right back in there? Okay, we'll do that, and I'll say to the patient, you can actually take your finger and push right on your chin like that. There you go. Good, so it's in and back, like someone's taking a pie and going to put it in your face, and you go, whoa, and you stretch that occipital area out and get those tissues and muscles stretched out, take the pressure off the nerve, and let that headache come down. Now if you do this and the pain in your forehead seems to move back this direction, thumbs up, you're doing the right thing, keep doing it. However, if you got pain in the back of your head and you're doing this and the pain radiates towards your forehead, it's not the thing to do. This does not always work. But like I said, about 50% of the time you're going to have some success, if not get rid of the headache totally. Much better than going to pharmaceuticals with aspirin and Tylenol and ibuprofen, etc. Just do a simple little stretch and take care of it.
Just one more thing I was going to mention, Brad. Sometimes people, in addition to that, will take some ice and put it back here.
Sure,
and put just an ice pack right at the base of the neck here to help also calm those muscles down a little bit. But this, do you want to tell how many times often you have people do this, Brad, or just so they can do it throughout the day?
Right, I'll have them do it if it's effective, and they do it 2 or 3 times, and the pain starts to either refer back and centralize to the back of the head and reduce. I'll say every hour, do 5 of those, okay? And if it continues to give you progress, you can do that every hour. And as the headaches go away, you can drop down to 2 or 3 times a day, particularly if you're in that computer workstation. And then I also work with them on changing their posture to eliminate the problem from the source. But that's the frequency. Every hour if it's successful. As it gradually goes away, you can reduce that down to a couple times a day for maintenance.
And we understand that this does look strange, but you can do this in a kind of a subtle manner when you're at your computer. I mean, you can just gently do these and people don't even realize you're doing them, so you don't have to draw attention to yourself, but it is a very effective stretch.
Absolutely. I got to get back to my dictionary, Bob.